I think you explain to me that you come to get fair. You say you get a tea to the man. After you get a tea to the man, and you come now. So what next now?
For me, I'll not fair.
Nobody, you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, just explain things. Say they make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you,
okay, I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then do.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, like why now?
Go to school. The English say I need the English.
Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Sorry.
Say Ali, you take time. You take time.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say to I can take time to
explain. Yeah, okay.
Welcome. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. My name is Julius J. We are here till 6 p.m. When the news comes on. At 4:30, we have with us Bapolu County Senator Amara Mohammed Kone. That's why he's called AMK. Tomorrow we have Dr. Robtel Paley here. We also have a doctor to tell us are there positive sides to aphrodisiacs, especially these improvised ones that are not scientifically, methodically approved. If not, what can men do to boost, to naturally boost their libido? That's between 4 and 5 tomorrow. So I got the children away from the radio. Right? It's gonna be juicy. Before then, we'll talk all the things that matter. A whole lot of things. How many people say as they chase the ship is drifting further at sea? That's interesting. Ministry of Commerce has made a move on hookah or shisha. We'll speak with the president of the Press Union of Liberia, Julius Kanumba. More and more details. Yeah. Don't throw stones. Okay, so that is what it looks like. Nowhere else but right here on the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. And this is where. Okay. Are these boys? I'm not seeing what I want to see. I'm not seeing what I want to see. Okay, let's see if we can get it from here. Where are you this moment? What are you doing? Which part of the world are you? Same planet, different places, different things happening. You can only know or say what's happening right where you are. That is the beauty of it. Some people are in Ghana, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Guinea, Sierra Leone, the US, the UK, China, where it's around midnight, or going closer to midnight. Because it's an 8-hour difference. So yeah, close to it's after 11 there. Australia, wherever you are. Some places are prosperous, well developed. Some, like Liberia, aren't. How we all live. We see the seconds, the minutes, the hours pulling by, pushing us closer. Funerals have been held for some of the 14 people killed in a landslide that hit a mountain monastery hosting an overnight prayer session in Ethiopia's northern Amhara region. Rescue efforts for others feared trapped in the debris after a hillside above the Orthodox Church monastery collapsed in the early hours of Monday morning have now been halted. The monastery includes a prayer chamber carved into the mountainside where the worshippers had gathered for the special prayer service. The European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has called for united action on border security after the chaotic influx of tens of thousands of migrants from Morocco into the Spanish enclave of Ceuta last week. Spain estimates that about 69,500 migrants have now returned to Morocco, exceeding initial estimates of 50,000. Wow. The official death toll on the Spanish side of the border stands at 72, with 11 deaths on the Moroccan side. EU interior ministers are holding emergency talks by video conference on Tuesday to discuss the issue. Let's take a very quick break with some of our sponsors. Share the video. We'll be back very, very shortly on the OK Conversation on OK FM 99.5. Again, my name is Julius J. Thanks for being there with us. This break.
We are brave. We are passionate.
Hey, Tanu. I need cash and there is no ATM around here.
Really? Did you try the EcoBank POS?
POS? I said I need cash. What is it about POS?
Judy, you can get your cash through the POS. All you need to do is to visit any EcoBank Express point or petrol trade gas station and request to use the POS. Guess what? It can also take other bank cards.
Oh, widow. You mean cards from banks overseas too?
Yes, it should just be your Visa card.
Wow, great. So when there is no ATM around me, I'll just use the POS to get my money fast. EcoBank has made it too easy, man. EcoBank and innovation that real 5 and 6 so.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Your cars, generators, and other machines can last much longer when you use the right kind of petroleum products to power your engines. Sunek Group, located on Bushwood Island, is dealer and distributor of high-quality petroleum products across Liberia at available prices. At Sunek Group, we sell and distribute high-quality petrol, gas, and diesel fuel to fueling stations across the nation. Our highly trained, professional, and customer-friendly staff are always waiting and ready to serve you. We deliver your petroleum products to your destinations on time. No worries. Power your engines with the right kinds of petrol, oil, and gas today and save time and money. Come to Sunek Group, your one-stop distributor of high-quality petrol, oil, and gas. We are located in a BMC building opposite UBA Bank, just a block away from LPRC on Bushwood Island. For more information, call 0777-062-441 or 0886-473-164. Sunek Group, spinning the wheels of oil and gas in Africa.
From the heart of
Are you looking for quality and healthy beats for whatever occasion for reasonable price? Then worry no more. Brown Hop Liberia got you covered. At Brown Hop Liberia, we sell healthy, agile raised pig for only $350 Liberian dollars per pound. Our pigs are born and raised in Liberia according to high European standards of hygiene and care. You are welcome to visit our farm in Bombing County or come to UCI at Freeport to choose your pig, weigh it, pay, and take it home. For more information, inquiry, or reservation, contact Brown Hawk Liberia via WhatsApp on 0770-888-804 or call 0880-900-041. Brown Hawk Liberia, quality you see, cleanliness you can trust.
healthy pigs, quality you'll try.
Your favorite RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes, as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770-533-415 or email us at reservations@kennejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkennejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating.
Okay, welcome back. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. This song is titled Touch of Heaven. When you listen to it, you know that it is for you.
I'm caught up in your presence. I just wanna sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never wanna leave. More than anything that you can do.
This is the Union Sound of Union Church,
Just want you.
featuring Mandela Simons, touch of heaven.
I just want you and nothing else. Come on, sing from your heart, sing. And
Do you get to that place in life where
nothing else.
it's just about you and God? You're not thinking about what you have, what you don't have, what you have achieved, what you haven't achieved. It's just that moment of just exalting God, and it's just Him. You know what I'm talking about?
Else will do. I just wanna feel you, Jesus. To know you. Touch me, Jesus. Touch our hearts. How I live for the moments where I'm still in your presence. All noise dies down. Lord, speak to me now. You have all my attention. I will linger and listen. I can't miss a thing. 'Cause Lord, I know my heart wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, to be undone by who you are. My desire is to know.
No, you just did not get that part. You didn't get it. Lord, all I want is to be in your presence, to live in your, to be undone by who you are.
All noise dies down.
When I'm in your presence, all noise dies down. Lord, speak to me now. You have all my attention. I won't linger and
I
listen.
will linger and listen.
I can't miss a thing.
Miss a thing.
Oh God,
'Cause Lord, I know
my heart wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. And all I want is to live within your love.
be undone by who
I just want to live in your love, Lord, to be undone by who you are.
deeper. And Lord,
I will open up again.
I will open up again. Throw my fear into the wind.
I will throw my fear into the wind. I'm desperate for
touch.
your touch from
Oh,
you.
touch me, Jesus. Oh,
That's the cry of many people now.
oh, touch me, Jesus. Touch me, Lord. Oh, you're the fire in the morning.
You're the cool in the evening, the breath in my soul.
All the love in our bones. There is no hesitation.
There's no hesitation.
In your love and affection. It's the sweetest of all. Lord, I
No, my heart wants more of you. My heart
want
something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, to be undone by who you are.
my desire.
Lord, I just want to live in your love, to be undone by who you are. Like whoever I was, whatever I think I am. Just, I want you to remake me, to undo me. I want to be undone by who you, God, are.
I'm desperate.
This is powerful.
Give me more.
No matter who I think I am, what I think I know. I just need you to make me who you want me to be, God. Let's have a bit of church here before we run into the issues.
Open
The title of the song is Touch of Heaven. Many groups did it, but I love this version by Union Sound featuring Mandela Simons.
Do what only you. Open up my heart.
Who else is opening up your heart to God? Who just needs a touch from heaven? Whatever it is, just a touch. When God touches, things change for the better. When he touched the man at the pool for what, 38 years? When he was asked, do you want to be healed? He said, I have no one to put me in the waters. So now all can go. Even if he doesn't touch you, if you touch him, like the woman of the issue of blood. Let him have his way in our lives. Is to live within your love, to be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper. And Lord, I will open up again. My desire, I'm desperate, God. Yeah, that's our cry tonight. Touch me. Yeah, that's how we do it here. Sometimes, yeah, we wanna lift you up to something else. Man, Lorenzo Boga says you can make a very good Sunday morning motivational radio announcer. Hope God can remake me again. Yeah, we have that churchy side, you know. We have that side, that church boy side. Yeah. Okay. Shortly we'll speak with the president of the Press Union of Liberia. Shortly we'll do that. There's something I want to get out of here. I'm not getting the responses that I need. Okay. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. I'm Julius J. Let's take something from the Liberia Special Economic Zones Authority. What have they done? So they say the Liberia Special Economic Zones Authority, LSEZA, has signed a 25-year developer-operator licensing agreement with Softcare Liberia Limited, officially designating the company as a special economic zone developer and operator within the Monrovia Free Zone. Under the $32 million United States dollar agreement, Self-Care Liberia Limited will develop, manage, and maintain a designated special economic zone dedicated to the manufacturing of hygiene and household consumer products. The investment is expected to provide 150 plus direct jobs and over 200 indirect jobs. It's also expected to boost local production while positioning Liberia as a manufacturing and export hub, serving both domestic and international markets across Africa and beyond. Self-Care Liberia Limited is one of Africa's leading manufacturers of hygiene and household consumer products. So this is good. For me, I always like the operationalization of these things. Be operationalized. Good. Well, it is a good start. It is good to know what they are doing there as LSZA. So they have places in the country like around the Freeport, in somewhere in Buchanan as well, or closer to Buchanan, whatever that is. They have these places that they declare as economic zones. So it is this special economic zone authority that manages those places. So when investors come to use those places as their stations, as their grounds to do business, there is something beneficial for the investor to use that place to buy land there or to lease land there, however they do it. So there is a benefit they get, but they have to have certain amount to invest in that place. And so it's like the government gives something to encourage them to come, and in return they bring their investment, they create jobs, they do whatever is required to be done. And I think those things are usually shipped. Yeah, I think a certain percentage. Yeah, but perhaps someday in the near future we could have them to have deeper understanding of what they're doing. So when the investor comes and they give them a spot in that place, there's no hala. Oh, the land business, oh, they tell the people land. No, that one is government's land declared a special economic zone. Some of you, no. As we speaking, you're listening to me. You are living on some special economic zone land. You know who I'm talking about? Somewhere around Chigisu factory area. Those places somewhere behind there. Yeah. Coming from Chigisu factory to kind of to Bannersville Junction there. Yeah, those places around there. Behind there, where do you have those factories? Yeah, somewhere you there. No, I'm not saying the government doing anything to you. I'm just telling you that some of you living special economic zone land. One day it could come up. But those places are usually, that's how they usually operate. Okay. So kudos to Special Economic Zones Authority. We need more investments to become operationalized. People need jobs. People need the skills, but they also need jobs. When people have jobs and they can work and earn a living, a decent living, plenty of things can get solved in the country by themselves just by doing that. Yeah, plenty noise, plenty wahala will not be all over. We'll become more policy driven. That's why I always think people should have jobs. They will not be praising people for nothing. The sycophancy will reduce. People will not be going to say, oh, our party now, why they get other party people here? It's supposed to employ our party people. Because, anyway, I come into something around that thing. Yeah. But we have with us the president of the Press Union of Liberia, Julius Kuli Kanumba. Welcome, sir.
It is our pleasure to form part of an important platform at this particular time.
Okay. I believe it was yesterday when the union met and came up with some decisions concerning the claims made, the quote-unquote verified and established claims made by the police IG?
Yes, certainly. It was on Monday that the union convened a specially called meeting of the general membership of the Press Union of Liberia. And the meeting took place at the head office of the union on 9th Street, where we saw a massive turnout of journalists, media and communication professionals who fall within the PUL bracket.
Which decision was reached and how was it reached?
Well, the decision that was reached after about 2 hours of genuine, frank exchanges and interactions was that the membership mandated the leadership of the PUL to engage with lawyers to seek the appropriate remedies in the wake of the grave allegation or revelation by the government of Liberia through the Joint Security Task Force or Investigation Task Force, as was announced by the Inspector General of Police, that the drug cartel has infused monies into the media to sway and influence narratives, change perspectives, and undermine the ongoing investigation into the illicit importation of drugs in Liberia. So that motion was overwhelmingly supported by the membership in mass, the membership in attendance. We got 99.99% of the membership voting for that particular motion. And I think 0.00% came from only one of our viable members who did not have problem with the motion, but by the use of the term consult or engage, lawyers of the union, that particular opposition was raised by the president, but it was defeated. So the motion was passed. And as part of this engagement, Julius, or namesake, we are to consult the lawyers for pieces of advancement in order to proceed. And it does not necessarily mean, as has been proffered by people who are not in the meeting, that we are definitely on our way to a third-party mechanism like the courts. No. What it means is that given the different perspectives that were offered, which were summarized into two broader schools of thought, if you like, into a constructive perspective. Those who said there was a need for further dialogues, further engagements with the police, the Joint Security, the Ministry of Justice, the Information Ministry, or the Presidency of the Republic. Those who said we should include lawyers and civil society into it. Those were the people on the constructive side of the school of thought. On the other hand, I don't want to say radical, but other people suggested, for instance, a media blackout, the withdrawal of all reporters from key functionaries of the government, including, for example, the executive mansion, the Ministry of Information, the legislature, the judiciary, and the police. So people said we should take that particular action. But there were different perspectives on that particular point in terms of access to information, denial of the right of the public to know, and perhaps undermining the very fight against drugs or illicit drugs in the country. So those on that particular side, at a certain stage, they agree that we should pursue the constructive path, and that path is to mandate the leadership to engage with the lawyers. So the leadership has been asked to engage with the lawyers within a period of 1 week and report back to the membership about the engagements. So it is part of the process of dialogue and trying to find, an amicable solution. Because, Julius, what we are doing, it is not to confront or to be in a confrontation with the government. No, it is a very simple request. If the joint security that has been investigating this very grave crisis tells us that they've got verified and established evidence that the cartel has been infusing money into the media without specifying that particular media, we want them to specify. If it is the entire media landscape, then I will ask whether Julius J or OKFM and receive anything from the cartel. Many journalists have raised concern. The other argument that the RG or the Joint Security said the media, and also it could be social media or any form of media. Well, when you are referring to media in Liberia, you are referring to mainstream media institutions. You are significantly referring to journalists who operate within the media environment, because the media is not just sitting as an abstract institution. No, the media is constitutive of humans that are practicing journalism. So essentially, that was the resolution from the meeting.
Okay, so the way others were thinking about saying the RG should provide evidence and all of that, it is not it.
No, it forms part of it, because the initial position of the union after the RG made the pronouncement at the Ministry of Information press briefing last week, the 30th of July, the press union was very proactive in telling the RG provide the evidence. So it is part of this request, this constructive request for the government to provide the evidence, because even the Ministry of Information, thanks to Gerald Limick, PR, the minister, he did attempt to clarify that the RG or the Joint Security did not mean the entirety of the media. But even if you say a segment of the media, I mean, you have to be clear, because if you say a segment of the media, then how do we delineate in terms of specificity that particular segment of the media? So, I mean, this is the point to help the public, because Julius, one of the criticisms of journalism in Liberia is that people accuse journalists of being unprofessional by taking bribe. So if there is an evidence in this case, it could be a breakthrough to knowing now publicly which media entity or journalist is taking bribe. So this is a simple request, because if the Joint Security fails to do it, it means the Joint Security is colluding or shielding some of the malpractices in the media.
Mm-hmm. I think earlier today the information minister said the media of Liberia, quote, isn't covered by the blood of Jesus. The government will not close media institutions, but will keep challenging media to uphold professionalism. Well, this accusation from the IG involves bribery, which is a crime, which is punishable, which is prosecutable. Why, up to present, hasn't the government named and placed charges on those that it said it has verified and established to have been engaged in such acts? Are those some of the things you're going to be asking the lawyers about?
Yes, we said all remedies. I mean, we have to explore all appropriate remedies. And I like the fact that you quoted the minister and then you are asking the question, why at this time? So if we are to uphold ethical journalism or professionalism within the media, and the government has got this sort of a verified and established evidence, it is now time to review it publicly, and then the pressure will be on the very media, the press union of Liberia and other actors to hold accountable that particular media institution. And that media institution or the journalists who will be involved on the basis of what is verified and established by the government can also be taken to court, because bribery is a crime under our law. And if you say somebody has been or media has been in contact with the cartel and you are fighting the cartel, and you know the cartel exists, and you know these institutions of the media exist, and yet you have not been able to reveal the names of those media institutions, then I'm not too sure you are waiting for Jesus Christ to come down to tell you, say, reveal the names. I mean, we know the media, is not covered by the blood of Jesus. I mean, in the spiritual sense that the minister wants to put it, but there are journalists who are Christians, and there are media institutions established by Christian institutions or by other religious institutions. And so we need to stop beating around the bush, right? We need to avoid this issue of avoiding to give the straight answer. Let us come, don't throw a blanket accusation, and that is what we've been saying. Some media entities are very blunt when they are reporting an issue. We listen to other media entities that are linked, that have linked, some of the very security actors that were dismissed by the president or suspended or recommended for further investigation by the president. Those media entities named these individuals, implicated them. So if it is those media entities they are referring to, then you have to be exact as the media or journalists or other political or social commentators are doing. And it is a simple request, right? Someone said, oh, journalists can go on air and accuse other people, and then they say, oh, it's a confidential source. But in this case, the drug cartel, I mean, there is nothing that should be confidential on the part of the government. Mm-hmm. So we will definitely engage Minister Pia, who has invoked a biblical interpretation of what he considers professionalism or unprofessionalism, to help us. I mean, let them name the members of the cartel that the journalists have been engaged with and those media institutions. That will be a landmark achievement by this government to finally exposing what is referred to as malpractices in the media. Because, Julius, when the RG made that statement, I mean, at that press briefing, the international media people in and outside of Liberia, they were very concerned. And the credibility of integrity...
And he was definitive. He wasn't guessing. I'm saying he was very definite in what he was saying. He wasn't guessing.
Definitely, Julius, when you say you have verified and established that the cartels has infused money into the media, it's clear, because anything that is verified is a fact. I mean, if you do fact-checking in the journalism, or when you do journalism, and one of the essences of journalism is the verification of the facts. So if the Inspector General, who was speaking on behalf of the government of Liberia, the Joint Security Task Force, has said that, I mean, it's very simple. Why can't they release the names? They release names of senior or middle career level government officials in the security sector at the level of the airport, who were implicated. So why is it you don't want to release the name or names of the media that you believe has been taking money from the cartel? So this is the 336 million question that we all are facing. Because if I ask Julius J whether he took money from the cartel, Julius will tell you he said no. If you ask the other journalists, they will tell you he said no. But yet the police, the Joint Security, the government of Liberia says, yeah, the media has taken money from the cartel. So why can't we name the media institutions, and then the responsibility will be on us now to hold the media accountable.
Okay.
So yeah, this should not be something that only Jesus Christ will come from heaven and say, oh yes, these are the media institutions. I'm not too sure Minister Pia or the Joint Security who want us to be left in this state of ambiguity. Because there's suspicion everywhere now. If I go somewhere, they say, "Oh, I mean, the president."
Once you talk about the drug issue, then people start casting those kinds of eyes on you.
They'll cast their eyes on you, which is very problematic. So that is why the president has embarked on a constructive approach. We want journalism to be a profession in Liberia that is in keeping with the best standards. We know the challenges. Minister Pia, the Inspector General, who is a good friend of the PUL, and we should say this publicly, Colonel Gregory Coleman, the LMP, Minister Pia, they are all good friends of the media. They respect the media as a strategic partner. And if the media is identified as a strategic partner in the fight against crimes in the country, especially the issue of illicit drugs, they must help the media to weed out any element within the media that is deemed to be in cahoots with the cartel. If not, if you leave a blanket, it means that, like other people have been saying, it becomes a loose talk, right? the very police RG went before the Senate, and I think Senator Koga made some statements, and later the very police said it was loose talk. It was done based on facts. So we need the facts from the police. It's a very simple request. We don't want to cast aspersion or doubt on OKFM, on Front Page Africa, on Daily Observer, or any other media entity, including ERBC, where we have our colleagues who are working there. So it's a simple request for the government to release the names of the media institutions.
Okay. Thanks so kindly, PR President Julius Kanumba.
Our pleasure.
Okay. So you heard him right there, and we cannot belabor the point. Since last week, they've not got anybody named. They've not indicted anybody on bribery charges connected to cartel work. If this week ends like that, then it will appear like something else. Okay. Yeah. I told you things are happening, right? Let me see what else I have here as we go into these other issues. So, former President George Weah has been announced as the keynote speaker for the 2026 Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association in Port Harcourt. So let's see what Nyanti has reported about that. Let's see what Nyanti has reported about that. What the Nigerians have said. Why did they invite former President George Weah? Before we do that, the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, working with relevant government agencies, has announced an immediate ban on the sale, distribution, promotion, and use of shisha, hookah in nightclubs, bars. And I did this thing the other time, the Ministry of Health, or Commerce, when they put in there, it was banned, or people use it in their homes or what. Yeah, we can go back to the Ministry of Health release on shisha, hookah or shisha, or how you call it. They say no. Okay, so we come to what the Nigerians have said. This is what they say. The Nigerian Bar Association is pleased to announce that His Excellency George Weah, a former president of the Republic of Liberia, will deliver the keynote address at this year's annual general conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, scheduled to hold in Port Harcourt. Popularly known across the globe simply as George Weah, our keynote speaker holds a bachelor's and master's degrees in business administration and public administration from the Denver University in Miami, Florida, USA. In recognition of his accomplishments in the fields of sports, humanity, peace building, education, and good governance, the Pan-African statesman has also been awarded 3 honorary doctorates of humane letters by the AME Zion University, Cottonton University, and the University of Liberia. As the President of the Republic of Liberia 2018 to 2024, one of his first actions in office was to reduce his salary and other benefits by 25% with immediate effect. His tenure witnessed improvements in the country's infrastructure. He introduced policies to improve access to education, including making tuition free at public universities. In a rare demonstration of statesmanship, His Excellency Weah stepped down from the presidency in 2024 after a runoff election in which his closest rival polled 50.64% to his 49.36%. His decision not to challenge the outcome of the elections despite the resulting margin and to relinquish power cemented Weah's reputation as a principled Democrat, an honorable statesman, and a distinguished African who is a model of good governance. Before entering partisan politics, George Weah has served as the Goodwill Ambassador of UNICEF from 1997. In 2004, he received the prestigious Arthur Ashe Courage Award from ESPN for his work on behalf of children who were affected by conflict, disease, and poverty. In 1995, George Weah became the first and, to date, only African footballer to win the Ballon d'Or, the FIFA World Player of the Year, and the African Footballer of the Year award in the same year. an historic feat. The announcement of His Excellency, where as the keynote speaker for this year's conference, underscores the commitment of the Nigerian Bar, the lawyers in Nigeria. We got the Bar Association of Liberia, so they have the Nigerian Bar, to elevate the quality of discourse and to deepen conversations on the issues to be explored in the context of this year's theme, Beyond Limits. Both as a politician and sportsman, Weah has continued to inspire millions of youths across the world as a symbol of hope, resilience, and service. His exceptional achievements and extraordinary accomplishments are a reflection of the spirit of aspiring beyond limits. As our country prepares for its general elections next year at a pivotal moment in our nation's economic and political evolution, this year's conference presents a platform for a critical evaluation of our choices as Africa's largest bar. To this end, an array of seasoned, experienced, and diverse speakers have been assembled to lead discussions and to provide incisive insights. Following the resounding success of last year's conference in Enugu, where His Excellency Julius Malema delivered the keynote address on the theme, Stand Out, Stand Tall, this year's conference promises to be a significant event that is poised to be a reference point for many years. And this is their release on choosing George Weah. One of the most significant things they mentioned was his turning over of power. And our country is going to election very soon, like next year. And so, they think Weah is a good choice to address the Nigerian Bar Association. Very top lawyers, the biggest bar in Africa. And all of that. So we say congratulations to the former president. As a Liberian, wish him all the best. And to deliver there. Let's, things are happening in the country. A whole lot of things are happening. And sometimes I was starting off with this whole thing about, jobs, the fights, the toxic and caustic nature of the politics. It is not really ideological. There is one major thing you have to notice in our country, and I always pray and express hope that we get to a point that when you watch in government, we are Bwaga, early after the war, I don't know about before the war, a whole lot of the people who are appointed or elected to government, let's do the appointed to governmental posts or who hold the big jobs in government. A whole lot of them, it is the highest salary, the first ever highest salary they ever earned in their lives from government. Can I repeat that? A whole lot of people who serve in government, there may be a few who may have worked in the private sector and earned more. There are a few. But a whole lot of people, what they earn in government is their first highest. So it makes the government job so attractive, difficult to let go. Maybe the Sir Leave time, you have some people who may have been earning higher. The country was just out of war, and so they came to help. We at time we saw that a whole lot of people appointed, a whole lot of them, it was their first ever job. First ever job. Some may have been working elsewhere, earning little, but the government salary will then become the highest. So a whole lot of people working at that level. It is not necessarily that it is they're trying to do a service for the country. No, in many other countries, some of those people are people who were earning a whole lot elsewhere, and it's like public service is to just do something for their country. So that passion is different from who was not having anything. Then I enter government, I'm making 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 now. It becomes difficult to leave. So you have to protect. You have to become sycophantic. You have to protect it, and you have to resist anybody trying to do anything else, because when that power leaves you, you're not at that level. The possibility of doing the things that you could not do outside of government job, whether it was the kind of food you were eating, the kind of clothes you were wearing, the kind of people you were seeing, the kinds of places you were traveling, the kind of car that you will use, you cannot do that anymore. So that's why you see all these fights and bickering. Some people who were officials in the CDC government, right now it's not easy. Staff. Some of them to buy gas, it's not easy. We saw that as well when power changed hands in 2017. Yeah. Saw how people looked. But that is not how countries should be. It is an anomaly. It is not what it should be. That's the point I'm making. And so people will not become overly protective. You go to some entities, tell the other people, the CDC people, the UB people, and remove the level, our own people there. Because the jobs, the private sector, it's not that big. It's not that attractive. And besides, what are the skills that people have? It is easier to get someone into a governmental post. And I usually say to young people, try to pursue a career rather than a job. Some people get them BB jobs. Ellington, we are talking about a career. So when the job goes, nothing else is left. So they can't do anything else. So are we building career people? Or are we just building people for jobs? You know that there's no career called minister. Minister. Yeah? To be a plumber is a career. Yeah? To be a teacher is a career. Take a whole lot of time and years to build yourself into something. So that's why you see governments come to power, and we're already thinking about the next electoral cycle. The people who left from there, those benefits and those things cannot come by anymore. For this very small country with a small population, if we're really that prosperous, a whole lot of people will not even think about governmental jobs. Trust me. The government will be chasing people, begging. And the man will just say, well, okay, let me pause this thing and come give 6 years to the public sector and just help my country. Those kind of people, it will not be about stealing. It will be about bringing your expertise to bear. You will respect the people. It will not be about the protection of a job. It will be about delivering service to help your country become better. And, so when you were talking about policy making and people you put in power and what they're thinking about, that is where we drive countries. When we get there, the debates become more ideological. All these things work in tandem with one another. Then you have development taking place. So it will be, do we build skyscrapers here or do we build overhead bridges in Sino? That will become the kind of debate now. Maybe it is far to get there, but is it possible? Yes, it is. Other countries got there. And we have to start. And we have to become more serious. Because we are all the same. We just see things differently. One way or the other, we all pay taxes to help the government run. So that you think you don't like the person in power, or you think you like them, or some kind of way you're contributing. You may be aboard a bus now listening to me in a taxi. He said, but I'm not working. I don't have a job. So they ain't cutting income tax from me. I don't pay real estate tax. I don't go to hotels to go eat and all that kind of stuff. So I'm paying value-added tax, all goods and services tax and all that thing. But you paying money in a taxi. A taxi driver can buy gas. Or they buy fuel. Small levies are cut. So your money going there too. That's how we're inextricably linked to countries that we're a part of. The value of citizenship and leadership is to ensure that we're getting to those points. Well, so the ship, let's read something from Front Page Africa. I don't understand what these. I don't know what's happening with. So, you know, one of the things I saw, was it Sunday or so, that was very interesting to me was people have been talking about a ship. People have been talking about a ship. They say it has been around Liberian waters. They saw it around Cape Mount, and people became concerned. What kind of ship is this? So I think our Coast Guard, our Army people decided that they were getting on board to go there. Then I saw people going like, huh? Hey, LRB. How can... We don't know what ship it is. We don't know what is there. I'm not sure we have the capacity to even eavesdrop militarily who is aboard that ship and all of that. And we getting on board to go there, and we're going live. We don't even know the capacity the people there have to know what we're doing. So Front Page Africa is reporting that the ship started drifting the way they're going towards it, but they can't catch the ship. The ship just going. The ship is just going. They can't catch it. Let me read what he said. Oh, that Julius talking. Let me talking now. Major General Fuller. It doesn't sound like a man who enjoys admitting his truths, having caught up with a 41-year-old cargo ship. So this cargo ship is 41 years old. In 1985, they made a ship. He says it anyway, plainly, because there isn't really a way around it. So they spoke with General Fuller, the head of the army. And he said, we are still in pursuit of the vessel because it went into deep sea. That's what he told Front Page Africa on Monday. They are now around the River Cess area south of the river. We can see them from our reach, and our guys are giving us coverage. We are in hot pursuit. Seeing it and reaching it, it turns out, are two different things. The order to search and seize the IB Atlantic Ivy came from a day earlier, once the vessel had drifted fully onto the Liberian side of the maritime border. Since then, it has done the one thing a ship in that position can still do, keep moving. What started as a search has become, in Fuller's own words for it, a pursuit. And pursuits, unlike search orders signed in an office, depend on things like fuel range, weather, and luck. A boat not built for this. The first thing that went wrong was the hardware. Liberia's Coast Guard vessels, fully acknowledged, simply were not built to chase anything very far out to sea. The boats the AFL using is not equipped enough to go deep into the ocean towards the direction of the Atlantic, he said. It cannot go above certain nautical miles. It will signal that it's going too far. That's how we came back and we spent the night in Buchanan. A country trying to project authority over its own waters from itself on the first night of the operation simply outrun by geography. Its own boats warning their crews by design not to go any further. They try again the next morning. So we are quoting General Fuller again. Since 7 a.m. they have been out there and not getting them, but we are trying our best to make sure we get to the boat. Fuller said Monday. A sentence that manages to sound both determined and, if you read closely, not especially confident. To close the gap, Liberia has now brought in help from outside its own fleet. We have just engaged our partners from Nigeria to give us a wide coverage of the area, Fuller said. They can see the vessel and their help is going a long way in helping us reach the vessel. Liberia, in other words, can now watch the ship it's chasing. Catching it is still a separate problem. Did a leaked video tip them off? There's a second complication, and this one Liberia may have caused itself. Critics have pointed to the conduct of AFL soldiers on Sunday when the pursuit first got underway as a possible reason the vessel bolted for deeper water in the first place. One soldier, by multiple accounts, posted footage of Facebook of troops moving toward the ship just as the operation began. The kind of real-time broadcast that if the crew or anyone watching on their behalf saw it would have given them all the warning they needed to run. Fuller didn't dismiss the possibility. Maybe they were so happy and went and released a video of them going toward the ship. And up to now, we are not sure what went wrong, he said. We are investigating it. It is an unusually candid admission for a military officer to make about his own troops in the middle of an active operation. That excitement or carelessness, or both, may have caused Liberia the element of surprise on the very ship its entire government has spent weeks worrying about. The chase didn't start the moment anyone wanted it to, either. For as long as the RB Atlantis sat on the Sierra Leonean side of the maritime border, Liberia held back, not from lack of concern, but from a lack of legal footing to act. We have been communicating with Sierra Leone to see how we could get across, but they were not giving us green light, Fuller said. So we're just buying time. And we kept engaging the chief of staff of SL, that's Sierra Leone. And later when the vessel drifted to our side, we allowed them to come in a little bit. That patience nearly paid off. We're quoting the general again. By the time we started moving toward the vessel, a heavy rain came, and visibility made it difficult for our troops. And as we got closer, the vessel kept moving deep, Fuller said. Weeks of diplomatic back and forth with a neighboring military resolved just in time for a rainstorm to undo it in the afternoon. It is the kind of detail that makes the whole operation feel like a manhunt and more like a bad stretch of luck, if you're inclined to believe luck is what it was. Communication with Sierra Leone has continued over the past 48 hours, officials say, and is described as improving, even as the ship itself keeps moving out of reach, where this started. None of this began with soldiers or Coast Guard boats. It began with a letter. On July 13, Mark Egon Quia, then Deputy Director for Operations at Rabos International Airport, weeks before his own dismissal in Liberia's cocaine scandal, wrote to the Liberia Maritime Authority as registered agent for a company called Madrid's Group of Companies Incorporated, describing a vessel in distress with propeller damage and asking that it be granted privileges to dock at the free port of Monrovia. Lima refused, as the Maritime Authority refused, telling Front Page Africa the request didn't add up. The ship was still sitting in Sierra Leonean waters, hadn't docked anywhere, and yet was already asking for a Liberian berth and a dive team. The ship in that letter is the same IB Atlantic IV, now running from Liberian troops off Riverses. In the weeks between the rejected letter and this week's pursuit, authorities began looking into reports that a smaller vessel had approached it at sea and tried to throw something aboard. The kind of detail that turns a disabled cargo ship distress call into something that looks, in hindsight, a great deal more deliberate. Queer, for his part, has not been charged over the letter and has, by multiple accounts, been providing investigators with information in recent days. All of it sits inside a summer in which Liberia has already logged its 2 largest cocaine seizures on record, charged senior police commanders with escorting the drugs themselves, and dismissed or suspended at least 10 officials across 5 government agencies. We'll hold it right there. Let's read the final paragraph. As of Monday evening, the IB Atlantic Ivy remained beyond Liberia's reach, somewhere off Riverses, watched from a distance with Nigerian help, but not yet boarded. Nothing about the ship's cargo has been confirmed, and nothing about the pursuit guarantees it will end differently than the chase for the 4 men who walked free after Liberia's last $100 million cocaine case in 2022. What's different this time is how openly the country's own military is narrating its own shortcomings while the chase is still underway. Underpowered boats and operational security lapses its own chief of staff won't rule out, and a bolder stand of resolve just in time for the weather to undo it. Whether the candle ends with the ship in port or simply with a clearer record of how it got away is, as of tonight, still an open question. So, the ship continues to go. As they approach it, it continues to go. We don't know what is aboard that ship, but an official who was dismissed and implicated in this whole cocaine thing. This drug thing looks very deep. I don't know. It's. But anyway, my guess is coming. We'll talk about that. But when you keep hearing the kinds of things that are coming out, I really hope and pray that the president can have that self-introspective moment where no advisors, no anybody, no wife, no child. There are moments in the leader's life, and that's where this is the challenge and the toughness of leadership, where you will have to connect with your inner self and your God and say, "Dear Lord, I hear everything. I see what I can see. I've listened to what I can listen to. But lead me in this one. This thing appears stink and deeply stink. Embodies theory of practice. There is habitus, there is capital, and there is field. Habitus usually doesn't. A cartel run primarily by people not in your country, overseas, has a whole lot. There are the habitus, the inclinations of people, the greed and desire for wealth and everything else of people in Liberia and other places forms part of the habitus. Habitus embodies theory of practice, the interagency actions between habitus and capital. The capital is the means, the money, and everything else that is required to get things done. And the field is where it happens. Liberia is the field. And of course, we'll also bring in his theory of agency. The individuals, the actors, those who get it done. So the agents could change from government to government. But the habitus, the capital, the field, they are there. New agents with very devilish and dastardly inclinations. The habitus, the behavior, the greed, the need to get wealth that can penetrate the very highest levels of governance and sometimes tie the hands of leaders. Those things always do happen. So you need that Lee Kuan Yew moment where it is just you. But all the advisors aside. Because if I am advisor X and somebody close to me is kind of linked, there is some kind of way I will say it to the president to sidestep. Or if I'm against somebody, I have them implicated and all that stuff. No. Get away by yourself and say, "Dear God, Everything else is here. All these reports are coming in. But help me with the wisdom and the fortitude to sail through this. Help me with the strong mind that whoever, no matter what, even if it is me, the president, if by any inclination, any inkling, I give support to any of this country has to be safe from this. This is serious. It is no joking matter. It's no political matter. 777-700-995, 555-995. Let's hear from you, and you will be through to the OK conversation. Just call. Let's begin with former Representative Great. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Judas, how are you, my brother?
I'm fine.
Yeah, Judas, look, man. Look, Liberia ownership issue, we're not just proactive. Follow the development from day one ownership issue, Judas. The first technical jargon that was being used, that the ship was in distress. So when the ship is in distress, Judas, former chairman of Maritime, it means that ship has imminent danger. It's in imminent danger. There could be fire, probably a breakup on the ship. There could be that there's severe leakage on the ship, or maybe some medical emergency. So that's some of the reasons for why your ship is in distress.
Mm-hmm.
So assuming that ship had leakage, the ship came into Liberia. Listen to the interview of the people from Kuta in Cape Town. Those who engaged the ship. You know, some fishermen drove onto the ship, they moved onto the ship in the canoe and they got on the ship.
Well, someone is asking a question. I don't know about it, but if anybody in maritime is out there, can help us. Does a ship, because my son had that concern, does a ship move faster than a boat?
No, but that one will come to that one, Judas.
But are you maritime person? I am not asking you. I'm putting it out there to the maritime people.
Why you say sometimes when some people area, you gotta respect them. And you say career being all the thing. Our chairman on maritime.
Oh, okay.
Judas.
Okay.
Yeah, our chairman on the committee on maritime, so I learned some things about maritime. That's a military boat we're discussing. Besides the ship, so the navy should move faster than the ship itself. Especially that ship is not a military ship. So the Navy should move faster than the ship, especially when they're using a speedboat or what they were using. So that one, that's not an argument. Okay. But Judas, the thing here is that the guys who were interviewed from Crew Town, follow the interview. They said they saw the ship right opposite Crew Town for 3 days. So it raised their concern that in Liberian territorial water there.
Mm-hmm.
So they got in the kingdom, they went there. Okay. And some of them got on board the ship. And they spoke to the guys on the ship. In fact, that's how I got to know that the guys said they're from Georgia.
Ah.
They are Georgian, yes. Okay.
And Georgia is a far away country near Russia.
Yeah, they said whether the ship is from Georgia, but they said they are Georgians. Let me be aside. Because they said the guys' English were not very clear. These are eyewitnesses who got on the kingdom, went there. So immediately, if the security apparatus, Judas, this is where I'm coming from. If the security apparatus were watching the ship from Sierra Leone and that ship entered Liberia, the same day they should have gotten proactive because the ship was very close. That's how they took the photos. The ship was very close to the landscape of Liberia, to the coastal scape of Liberia. That's how the crew boys and other people got on their canoe and they went to the ship, and the ship was stationary. In fact, they claimed that there was something from the ship and they suspect maybe it was drilling. That's their own perception. I mean, I don't believe that, but they thought that the ship was drilling and saw some of the oil spilling. So if something like oil was spilling from the ship, then it means that the ship was distressed. Maybe that the tanker, something happened to it. So it justified the communication that the ship was distressed. How can the ship stay 3 days, Judas? Okay? And nothing was done until Spoon and other stations had to move in, and they granted that interview that even with the people who went on the ship before the security apparatus took action. And the guy said they were there for 3 days. Some people claim that 3 weeks. Some say 1 month. Okay? That the ship was there. So this is embarrassing to the country, to be frank with you. Then secondly, you struck a point, Judas.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine people videotaping the navy of the country. They are moving towards the ship, and look at that look at what they were getting on. It gives the intruder added advantage to know exactly the strength of the military going up there, the navy, to know the kind of material they're using, the equipment they're using, and that's not even good. So now the distress ship is moving faster than the speedboat. Can you imagine that? A ship, you just Google what is distress. You don't need somebody to call you and explain to you that when the ship is in distress, okay?
No, I just want to know from people in maritime, can a ship move faster than a boat? Are they?
Ask that kind of question, can a ship move faster than a boat? It has to be in context. Depend on the ship. Is it a military ship? Is the boat a military boat? These are things that you need to ask, not just any boat, okay? This a navy boat we're discussing. So it should be faster than that ship. Then it should be faster than a tanker ship. It should be, especially on the waters of Liberia. So that argument you gotta ask, the question gotta be asked in context.
Let the person call for when the person call what to do. But thanks so kindly.
Right. Yeah.
the man on maritime, the former chair on maritime. So what? He gone? I'm not. I just want to marry. I want to know the maritime thing that you learn. Let's see who's here. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius.
Yeah.
My name is Mars, and I call you from a rescue center. Julius, each time I think about Liberia, shed tears. Sometimes I want to give up. But again, if I give up, where can I go? I cannot be welcome anywhere in the world that we're welcome in Liberia. Julius, we are prioritizing the wrong things in our country, and we think it's helping us. Julius, in today's life, 2026, the Army got a sophisticated boat that can even go 200 miles or 200 knots in the ocean. Can you imagine that? And our government officials drive cars in the country on the roads that don't have traffic lights. So expensive. The cars are expensive more than the roads. The airport where the president parks his private jets doesn't have Wi-Fi, and nobody think about fixing that. Julius, when I said in 2023 that Liberia needed a thinking president, this is what I meant. Liberia needs a president who would be like Lee Kuan Yew from Singapore, who used to go to his bedroom and lock up himself for a whole week thinking how to solve Singapore's problem. This is the kind of leader Liberia needs right now. I said to one of my friends in the CDC, and I said to one of my friends in the Unity Party, where Liberia is right now, we should look at George Weah and tell him, we love you, but you can't fix Liberia. You can't solve Liberia problem. We should look at Joseph Baga and Jeremiah Queen in 2029. We tell them, you guys have had your turn. But where Liberia is right now, we need people who can think. We need a thinking president. We need someone who can think to solve Liberia problems. We need to fix this country before our grandchildren and children on the children start to blame us. The same way today we blame J.J. Rowden for not building roads in Liberia. We got to fix this country, Julius. Thank you.
Thanks so kindly as well for your call. The conversation goes on. We are expecting Senator Amara Kone shortly. I guess he should be around or here. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Libra.
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Thank you very much. They come up with chairman. CUMP will release my name, member of the Concern Liberia for Justice. I call for somebody to shoot for. Serious, we are in an era of incredulity.
What?
Incredulity. Four is foul right now, and foul is.
You said we are in an era of what?
Incredulity.
Incredulity?
Exactly.
What does it mean?
Four is foul. Foul is foul. Evil is mixed with good.
Are you rhyming or what?
I'm not rhyming. You know the kind of era we in Liberia now?
No, but man, you have not told me the meaning of incredulity.
Incredulity is a kind of era of confusion.
Oh, okay. So how I want to learn something new. How do you spell incredulity?
Come again?
How do you spell incredulity?
Should I spell incredulity now?
Yeah. I want to learn.
You're not giving me a time.
No, I will. Trust me, I can even beg Senator Amara Kone if.
You know we did it before, Julius. We
What?
did it before. I beg you, let me learn.
No, I beg you. All of us want land. The whole public listening.
I beg you. Julius, we did it before.
No.
You remember when I told you you know the voice that
I'm not saying it is not a word. I'm just begging you. I want to learn inquadulate. Myself, when you say I love words, you know I love words. No, I beg you. You gotta spell that word. I beg you. Please spell inquadulate. It say I-N. No, let's leave that one. It say I-N. I-N what?
I-N. Q-U-O.
Q-U-O. Remember spell the word I-N. Q-U-O.
J-U.
J-U. I-N. Q-U-O.
You got a Q-U-O. You got a J-U.
J-U. Yeah, I got J-U.
You got a L-R-T-Y.
L-R-T-Y.
Yeah, L-R-T-Y.
Inquadulate.
Exactly.
My man, that word doesn't exist. So are you talking about incongruity?
No, inquadulate.
Yeah, but you know what doesn't exist anywhere. That's so that you very confusing me now. It's a self-made word.
Come again?
It said a self-made word.
A self-made word?
Mm-hmm.
No, actually I will come and give you
no, but my man, but the thing in the dictionary, the thing is not on Google. We can find it. But I think you are talking about incongruity.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but man, because the word you're talking about is incongruity, I-N-C-O-N-G-R-U-R-T-Y, which means the state of being out of place, unsuited, or mismatched to a situation. And that's the definition you just gave. So you were talking about incongruity.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, tell me, thank you now.
Okay, Julia, thank you.
Okay, you can go ahead now and make your point.
Yeah, I don't have paper right now before me to do that.
My man, leave that one. Go ahead.
For you guys Google before you. So, Julius, I told you something before and you heard me like this. I told you that this just issue was going to be linked to the first family. You asked me for evidence and we went back and forth. I told you that according to, or kind of, there are two kind of evidence. I told you direct evidence and there are,
So what is your issue? What is your issue?
So my issue now, Julius, podcasting again, this shape will be linked to the job.
Okay.
The branding of the job is successful.
Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold you there. Let's take our guesses here. Let's take just three quick. One from France. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius. Julius, I want to talk quickly on the issue of the cocaine. When you said Dortmund can be thinking about paracetamol, I want to talk about the cocaine. This cocaine building library is too deep, Julius, because there are major projects of the Liberian government have been found out about the cocaine money.
Allegedly, what is your evidence?
We are hearing that the public fund is alleged.
Someone knock you off with a direct call. Let's go to the US. Welcome. Let's hear you. Oh, let's stay talking.
Good afternoon, Julius.
Yes. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
My name is Ogatatos. It is Chevron graduate. My man is Chevron scholar. You can give people a hard time. What can I spend a minute yet, man?
We got to understand what we're talking.
Let me get to the issue. Julius, my name is Ogatatos, by the way. I'm calling from the US. Julius, it's unfortunate that people continue to do this service to Liberia by being not being fair to the disco. The second to the last caller said he told his friends in the Citizen and Unity Party that George Weah is not a thinking president. And I want to debunk that. I want to debunk that in the sense that how can you say George Weah is not a thinking president when since the University of Liberia was founded in the 1960s, that university has not been digitized. It took a George Weah to digitize a university. Isn't that a thinking president? Liberia as a country.
That's small
we have
thinking,
not
there,
had,
man. That's small thinking, man.
Not
That's
small
not
thinking.
big
Julius,
thinking.
around the world now, schools are being digitized. People, you don't have to.
Yeah, but I'm saying it is not. It is not anything radical.
It is radical.
But what do you make it radical? Schools at the university level are supposed to be digitized. So what is the radical thing there? Nothing radical in nothing.
Julius,
It's just that people didn't do it. It did not need thinking. It did not need deep thinking.
It did. It did. Okay, what about poor people children going to school free? Education, right? Education, it is a human right. And we have people in our school that never had access to college education. It took a George Weah to say, you know what? Our children needs to have access to education.
Okay.
That's the thinking president.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Let's come local. Welcome. Let's hear you quickly. And then we'll go over to our guest. Yeah.
Welcome, Julius.
Yeah, so you can go ahead. What's your name?
So my name is Dawuda Barama. I'm calling from Looking Town. Yeah, Julius. What I have to say is this. You know, I listened to a report that you read from Front Page Africa concerning the shape issue. Why always the AFL can fail us? Julius.
But what you want the AFL to do?
Because the reason I'm saying that is we have a Guinea situation again. Today, the Guineans still want our land.
My man, AFL are a different set of people. They can't just move or they need authorization from president.
They should be the one protecting us. Small ship. Imagine people are asking us
But you think the AFL people know waiting on the ship, they'll just be approaching the ship and go near each other. And instead of throw one thing that whole boat go, all the men will die. So what?
The thing is, if the guys from Cape Mount can use kilo to go and see.
No people that not armed people. It is a different thing if you passing among Zogo and then the Zogo know you to be regular person in the area. You got nothing on you. You can pass against trouble, but the person that they don't see expensive phone with a person they can attack.
Julius. Okay, FN page. Okay, FN to all that the people interact. In fact, you are reporter for Mark Roger. For Cape Mount, Clarence Jackson will show that last year been there for over 1 month. What will have the maritime authority there for?
Okay.
So when the ship out water, there's nobody can know about it.
Okay, thanks so kind of hurry our guests is here. For me, I don't know why all the maritime boy won't tell me that ship can move fast. Why I don't know a boat? Why the boat can catch a ship? I beg you. He did a minute and smart too. Anyway, it's okay. Look, we gotta keep praying for the country and praying for better actions, yeah? Yeah, easy. Okay, we have with us Bapolu County Senator Amara Conant. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Julius. It's always good to be back. Thanks for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
You are wearing a brown, is it a brown tie?
Yeah, it's a tan suit with a brown tie.
And we are talking about brown top, and you're wearing brown tie.
Yeah, what is that, by the way? Tell me about it a little bit. Let's talk about that. Let's start the. Let's break the ice. Let's break the ice with that one. What is the brown top thing?
Do you know what brown top is?
No, I don't. But I've seen people write about it in the past 48 hours. Something going on in Nimba or something?
Yeah, but you know about aphrodisiacs?
Absolutely not. Oh yeah, aphrodisiacs. Yes, yes.
So
the main thing.
Yeah, so it is an aphrodisiac according to
made in Liberia.
No, I think it comes from Nigeria also.
As usual, all medications and stuff like that come from Nigeria.
But yeah, have you heard about them? Have you used them? Have you tested?
No, I don't need them.
Why?
I don't need aphrodisiac. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm okay. I exercise. I eat right. I don't need to worry about that. Those who worry about that, the people who have blood flow problem.
But you are aging, and sometimes people say some of those things are good for people who are aging.
My wife hasn't left me yet. My wife is still with me and she's happy.
But it is a serious social issue because a whole lot of younger people are getting hooked on those kinds of things.
I don't understand why 20-something-year-old, anyway, when you're in that age, that's all you think about. I don't understand why they would, they would worry about stuff like that, when biologically in that age, you have the natural stamina to do, to be intimate with a woman, or whoever you are. But then I think it's also the uh, the mental psychological part of it that made people think that they could do better than what they could naturally be. But my only thing is, I hope they are safe. I hope it's not killing people. I hope it's not bad.
We'll have a health practitioner here on tomorrow
Yeah.
to tell us what those things are. Are they okay? Are they not?
Yeah. For example, I mean, popular medications like how you call it?
The Viagra.
Viagra and stuff. You will need prescription for those ones because those type of things affect your heart and the way it pumps the blood. It's all about blood flow. If your arteries are clogged with cholesterol and stuff like that based on your diet, then you're gonna have a problem. But if you just watch what you eat and stay healthy by exercising, moving around, you should be fine.
When you were minister, you used to exercise?
Yes, it's been part of my,
But
just a lifestyle of mine. I asked the finance ministry people. I never took the lift regularly, only when maybe I was running late or something, but I always took the stairs all the way to the 9th floor.
Ah, okay.
It was good for my heart. And then I'll work through to like midday or so, and then I always ate with my deputies and occasionally assisting ministers and some directors just by invitation, just to talk about their departments and so on and so forth. That was the culture I had from planning ministry all the way to finance. But then after lunch, I'll take the stairs down. I'll take it back up. Because it's good to always walk immediately after eating. Because we eat a lot of carbohydrates here and oil in almost all of our menu. So by walking 9 flights of stairs, you force the sugar in the carbohydrates to go straight into your muscles versus to your liver, and then forming the pot belly later on at night. I'm not a doctor, but this is all, I read medical journals. So even in my house now, when I eat, I just walk around the house. I go downstairs, I go upstairs. I come outside. I just walk around like some zombie, looking for nothing but just trying to make sure that at least 10 to 15 minutes of walking after eating a heavy meal, particularly a carbohydrate-rich meal, is good for the body.
Yeah, because there's a whole lot happening with different people, different health issues.
Yeah, this morning I posted, I do this posting when I go to the gym just to motivate.
Yeah, because we see the whole lot of videos from the gym.
To motivate
you are
people.
even
It's
challenging younger
not
people.
to show, but to motivate, particularly people in my age group. But one thing I'm observing in our country is that a lot of young people complain about pressure. What happened? You went to the hospital, you're sick. What's wrong with you? The doctor said I get pressure. That's hypertension. And hypertension is not only for fat people. It can be for younger people. That has to do with really what you eat most of the time. Some of it can be hereditary, but most of the times
A lifestyle choices.
Lifestyle choices. And people will say, well, because you're senator, you can afford to do it. No. I eat rice. I eat palawa sauce. I eat potato grains. I just tell my wife. She knows from day, not tell her, but she knows from day one. She's also like that.
She's here?
Yeah, she's here. We don't do a lot of salt.
Wow, it is
a lot
surprising.
of Vita. The Vita is worse than the salt in terms of sodium content. And then that will cause your body to retain a lot of water. Water and blood don't mix well for the heart. and then it leads to the pressure and the hypertension because you have a lot of water in your blood going to the heart and pumping it down, and then your kidney is under stress and so on and so forth. So what you can eat anything in this world. What you eat matters, and the way you eat it. So when friends come to visit me, I try to share my little knowledge to them. We always have meat and chicken in our food. So our culture does not allow people to pick in the soup.
Mhm.
But it's always good to eat protein, which is the fish, the meat, the chicken, before you eat carbohydrate, the rice.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
First time hearing this.
Yeah. Why? Because carbohydrates have sugar. The rice we eat has a lot of sugar, particularly this imported rice. So country rice is better because it's organic. The sugar content in it is low. So when you eat carbohydrates, your stomach processes it faster than protein and healthy fats like avocado. If you can eat avocado first, then you eat your meat on top of that. In your stomach, while your stomach is processing that, the rest comes on top of that. Your stomach processes the rice last. So the sugar get absorbed into your bloodstream gradually, which is better for you than rapidly. Because the moment you put something in your mouth, according to doctors and medical journals, your body, your pancreas releases something called insulin.
Mhm.
As soon, right now, as we're eating, I'm drinking water. I just drank green tea in the car before I came here. I haven't eaten yet since I ate 9 p.m. last night. I went to the gym fasting. So when I go home now, I will eat. But the way I eat could help me to be healthier or could destroy all that effort. We Muslims who fast all the time.
Mhm.
So they say we should eat fiber-rich foods first. And we have everything here. And you're talking about butter pear.
Mhm.
It has fiber in it. If you can get butter pear, you can plant it in a yard and something. You eat that first. And
That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's healthy fat too. It's good for the heart. Then that goes down first. Then second, in fact, they say before you start eating, you drink a warm lemon juice. Ain't no lemon
Mhm.
that we plant behind our house.
Mhm.
It's healthy because it creates, acidic reaction in your stomach to process food faster. So when you drink the lemon juice first, then you begin to eat in that order fiber, and then the protein, the meat, the fish, and then before you eat your rice and your soup. So it's first come, first in, first out. 5-4 in the stomach. The stomach's a small bag. So the food goes in there. The one you put in first is the one that gets processed. The one with less sugar is better for you. By the time it gets to the one with the sugar now, in your small intestine is processing the fiber, the protein, then the rice gets processed, smaller. Your insulin comes in, but the reaction is not going to be much because the sugar in your blood, the normal sugar, when you eat, it goes up just like when your fever goes up.
Mhm.
So the insulin balances it so that your blood sugar level is normal. But when you keep eating carbohydrates, every time you eat rice, you eat plantain chips, then lunchtime you eat another dry rice and fried fish, then you do this one, your pancreas is constantly pushing into your bloodstream insulin. Then you become insulin resistant. That leads to type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And then when you continue to do it now, you get to full-blown diabetes. Next thing you know, small soul cashew now, it becomes a problem. So the way we eat and what we eat matters based on my small knowledge of medicine.
His name is Senator Amara Kone. He is not a doctor, but we have a doctor here on tomorrow giving us.
Maybe you should ask the doctor to see what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Yeah, sure, we will.
But the way we eat and when we eat, don't eat after 7 p.m. if you can. It takes about 4 hours for our stomach to digest the food. So if you ate your last meal at 6, no more snacks, no nothing, maybe green tea later on before you go to bed, or they get some kind of tea called chamomile. It helps to relax your nervous system so you can sleep. You drink that, or maybe ginger to help the digestion overnight. By time, if you're going to bed 10 or 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 4 hours, your stomach finish digesting, the heavy work is done now. It goes into your small intestine to get the nutrients, the vitamins into your bloodstream. And then after getting all the nutrients, then it goes out now through your large intestine as feces. But in the morning, you wake up, don't just jump to eat breakfast. See if you can delay breakfast to around midday. Then you reduce your insulin sufficiently. That way you'll be able to, hopefully, prevent diabetes from catching you. And what I see in our country, a lot of young people are suffering from hypertension and diabetes, sugar. The people say, I get sugar, the people say, I get sugar. So it's the lifestyle and the way we are eating.
Sometimes we think when we get this new job or something, we think, you're eating anywhere now, anytime.
Drinking high-calorie drinks, like, soft drinks, you think you're bluffing, or rocks and these energy drinks, think it will make you stronger. And most especially beer. Beer is empty calorie. It makes you fat, So they say it's good to drink them in moderation because they affect your liver, and your liver is the most important organ besides the heart in your body.
Okay, great. Hope somebody learned something out there.
Yeah.
So the Public Accounts Committee.
Yes.
You've been holding a whole lot of public hearings.
Yes. Yes.
The one on the transitory accounts.
Yes.
With commercial banks for taxes. Let us start from there. What do we know from there, and what are the recommendations?
Julius, when we entered the legislature, our colleagues appointed us to head the Public Accounts Committee. We have our Senate side and we have the House side. We started running. Right now, we've completed about 12 audit reports that should be with the president. Very important ones with recommendations. And then we'll be checking with him maybe at the 1-year anniversary to see the action he's taking on that. And then the crisis in the House happened. That sort of stalled our work. So we've started. The transitory account is an important, audit by the GAC is an important audit. We had a public hearing, well attended, organized, and was how do you call it? People, senators were on top of their game, and the witnesses were also on top of their game. The banks were there. Basically, the Auditor General is reporting that they could not trace, about $370+ million from these transitory accounts with our 9 banks to the consolidated account. For those who may not know what a transitory account is, it is the account that the LRA establishes with the commercial banks with the authorization of the Minister of Finance for the sole purpose of collecting government taxes, since people will not be going to the central bank to pay these taxes. And then they get a flag receipt from the LRA. Mm-hmm. But then the LRA signs an MOU with the commercial banks that these accounts, any money they collect, any tax money they collect during the day, but at the same time the next day, 24 hours, they should sweep, meaning they should move the money from the transitory account after they take their fees into the consolidated account. So this audit established that the commercial banks were not doing that between 2018 and 2023. Okay? And they could not trace about $300 million into the consolidated account. This doesn't mean that it didn't happen, but they just couldn't trace it. Maybe they didn't provide the information and so on and so forth. And the second aspect from that audit, which we talk about at the hearing, is that about $53 million in reversals, meaning the money was posted to the government account, but then it was reversed from the government account. So if money was paid for the government and it was debited and then later on reversed, then you need to tell us why and where that money went. We're not accusing you of anything, but you need to tell the committee through the Auditor General the approval, the documentation, and the reposting statement, journal entries and so on and so forth for that account. So this is where we are. So after the public hearing, we've been...
What was the explanation, the issue of the transitory...
No, they all said on the oath that they remitted all the monies that they collected on behalf of the government at the hearing for those who followed. So we say, okay, you will stay on the oath until we can ask the detailed questions. So we started that engagement this week. So the Auditor General now has cleaned up all of his data, and we are going to be communicating with each bank, to provide statements for all of the monies they collected on behalf of the government, and also approval documentations and reposting entries for the reversals that they made on the account, so that we know that what they told us on our oath is actually true. That's one major audit that we are looking into right now. So around the 27th or 28th of this month, we'll be meeting with them again to review the reconciliation.
The RRA Road project.
Yes. That's the second big audit report that was released by the Auditor General. The Auditor General found that road is not being built based on the specification in the agreement. They're not building it up to the standards that was agreed to and approved by the procurement committee. They are talking about more than $100 million that they couldn't account for, and so on and so forth. So
they said 1 million or 100 million?
100 million. Okay. So we scheduled a hearing, but unfortunately the contractor and the former government officials, meaning the CDC era officials, public works and so on and so forth, did not come to the hearing. So we have pushed that hearing to Wednesday coming. And as I speak to you, the Sergeant at Arms of the House of Representatives, supported by the LNP, is delivering the citations again, for them to come. We look forward to their coming. Also, we'll be putting public service announcement on the radio with names of individuals, the auditees that we want to talk to at that public hearing. And we encourage the public to come and tune in so that they can understand what's going on with the RIA highway. That road, no work has been done on that road now for almost a year. Since this year, nothing. It stopped. We need to understand why I say that the key financier, the Afro-Asian Bank, is not willing to give additional money, maybe because of their own internal audits, confirming what the Auditor General is saying. So we need to know so that we can finish that road, which we believe will be good for the country.
The LAA.
Yes, Liberia Airport Authority. So linked to the highway is the Brabus International Airport, how it was managed over the last, during the CDC regime. So that audit report too is adverse, meaning it's bad. We're talking about between $5 to $10 million unaccounted for, according to the Auditor General. We would like to hear from those who manage the airport during that time, as well as those who are there now, so that they can listen to some of the errors the other people made for them to fix the airport, because it's a major gateway to our economy. So those two hearings were rescheduled for Wednesday.
Grand Bassa Bong and Nimba
Yes.
Development Funds.
Yes.
We saw the Nimba audit report, the
Yes.
Bassa and all that.
Yeah. The Auditor General also released audit report on the Bong Technical College, adverse, meaning bad, the management of the Nimba County money, development money, adverse, as well as Grand Bassa County. So our intention is to hold the hearings for those audit reports in the counties.
Okay.
So we'll do Grand Bassa first, then we'll move to Sanikole, and then we'll close it up in Bon County and return to Monrovia. So the letters for that, I believe, will go out sometime tomorrow or Thursday through the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And we will also put public service announcements.
That's the Ministry of Local Government.
Local governments, you're right. Local government, thank you for that. And then we'll put public service announcements on the community radio stations so that people know that we are doing this. Especially the former officials are expected to be there. And we'll hold the hearings and then come back to Monrovia. You know, our committee is one of the committee, if not the committee, that was sanctioned by both houses to work during this period. So that's why you see me dressed like this.
Okay.
Because we're always working just to get the hearings done and also be able to finish as many with as many hearings as possible before we return in October, when we'll be focused on the budget for next year.
Why is it important to take these hearings to the counties?
It's important because our government, we've been talking about decentralization now. The Ministry of Local Government was established, was enacted mainly to support decentralization. So we want to also decentralize our work consistent with the law we passed. So going to the counties, it will give citizens the opportunity to know how much money the legislature appropriated in the budget for the audit period for them, and then and how they were spent. So we would like for them to participate by coming to the hearing. Of course, they can't ask questions, but they will be there as witnesses to history, to be able to learn for themselves, as well as those listening on radio, what happened.
Given that you're taking the hearings there,
yeah.
It will mean the concerned people have to be there.
Correct.
In order to make it what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
What will happen if, especially the former officials, do not show up?
Yeah, like I told you, we're taking extraordinary steps within our constitutional authority to get them there. And our enforcement officers, are the sergeants at arms. So they are delivering these letters. We are talking to people for addresses and so on. And we expect them to come there, because if they don't come there, then we will just assume that whatever the Auditor General wrote is true. The whole process of public hearing is due process, legislative due process.
Mhm.
Yeah, you, Julius, manage this organization. You were given this amount of money. The Auditor General found that you did not spend the money like this, like that. You should come and explain what happened, to the committee. And the committee will deliberate, just like juries do on these issues, and then report back to our respective plenaries before it even go to the president. And that's when the prosecution or the restitution process begins.
Okay. The GSC also did an audit on the LDEA.
Yes, GSC did an interesting performance audit on the LDEA. And that audit is revealing. It speaks to the institutional challenges within the LDEA, the way, based on their own data, the way they are manning the borders and the way they are dealing with this whole drug epidemic we have in our country. We believe that hearing should happen when we return, because we don't want it to jeopardize, what is happening right now with the whole cocaine stuff. So we'll wait, but it's public information. Actually, it's on the GSC website. It's been released now for a couple of weeks, but we want to wait until we can see significant progress on the ongoing investigation.
Okay. Now, before we come back to other issues, let's go to Bapulu County, where
Yeah.
you come from.
Yeah.
There's this issue about the weekly market in
Yeah.
in one of the districts there, and how you can have them connected with the larger economy through Bon County.
Yeah, you are talking about Genwulala district. Genwulala district is one of the largest districts in terms of land mass, surrounded by 3 major rivers. All right? The Simple River, right around the area they're going to be doing the second hydro, SP2, bordering Bapulu and Bon County. Then up north, you have the Via River. The Via River borders Bapulu and Lofa. Then you have the Tuma River. That's west, bordering Genwulala district and Bokomo district. So to enter the county by vehicle, you had to cross one of those rivers. So since the creation of Liberia, there was a bridge on the western side of the county connecting Bopulu City to the administrative district of that district. But that bridge was out. Thank God this administration has rebuilt it, but the road has not been fixed, so only motorbikes and pedestrians by foot can use it for now. But this weekly market you are talking about is in Payekole.
Okay.
This is where the entire district comes every week, and people from Bon County will come there every week. The majority of the population in Genwulala district are farmers, large farmers. So, and they diversify their crops. So every Thursday they come to the market. They don't have access to the main economy through Bon County. So people come to the market, of course. Market forces will determine
buy
how much
cheaper.
they pay cheaper and so on. So they don't really get the value for their crops. Sometimes, even if they don't buy, then they have to take the crops back home and consume. Then that's you call it post-harvest losses in economic terms. Even though you are eating it, you're not getting resources.
Some
and
even
so
get
on.
spoiled.
Correct. So when I ran to become senator and I went there, and I spent a week in that district on motorbike, just visiting the towns, 8 large towns. You enter in the middle of forest, you see children, you see mothers, you see elders. They're having their life, they're having football games, and so on and so forth. But some of the children have never seen a vehicle in their lives since they were born. So we committed to work with our colleagues in the government to change that. So fortunately for us, we've been able to work with the Ministry of Public Works, thanks to Minister Giddens and Deputy Minister Tamba, to open the road from Bon County to the river, and then opening the road now from across the river to Payekole town, and putting in there a ferry as a temporary measure through Lace that could carry about 50 tons of vehicles and people to one crossing, while the government is constructing a bridge upriver, which is going to cost somewhere around $8 million and about 2 years to complete. So hopefully the ferry was certified and tested around the 26th. It brought joy to them. And in the next few weeks, we plan to commission it and enter the town with the vehicle for the first time.
That will lead us to talking about the overall economy of the country, even with we saw some impressive numbers from the CBL. Economy performing or may perform better, and all of that. But everywhere you go, you still hear, "Oh, the country high, the country high." I guess people tell you that everywhere. Why is it always a mismatch between what the numbers, the academic numbers are, and the reality on the ground?
Good question. First of all, let me say here, I said this a while ago, but people politicize it. I know my colleagues, my friends are listening, both UP and seditions are listening to me now. And when I say something that does not favor the other party, they will get online, start talking, no problem. But the economy has been stable for a while, particularly under this government. In the last 2 years, the stabilization started when you look at the numbers. Economics, those of us who've managed this economy multiple years, we know what we are talking. The President Boakai deserves credit and his economic team for the stabilization that we see. The exchange rate is stable. Inflation, central bank has been trying to keep inflation in check, but the whole fuel thing, the crisis in Iran and so on and so forth, have been affecting that. Every month, my office, my chief of staff, Siaka Sharif, and our coordinators in our 6 districts, we have our small lists, my background, data. I depend on data to make decisions, and it's hard for me to speak on the issue if I don't look at the numbers. So we track price changes in Western Liberia, not just in Bapulu County, in Western Liberia every month. I have the price data just for my own knowledge and for me to be able to engage the vice president, who the president appointed on this price control thing, and our Western Caucus colleagues, see what we can do to make sure that our people don't carry the burden of it. You can see it. The economy is stable at the highest level, macro. The budget is stable. LRA is reporting revenue performance. The finance ministry is financing programs. But somehow, some way, for some reasons, the businesses are complaining. And we're talking about formal businesses as well as informal businesses. So there's a mismatch there, and we need to do something.
What could be wrong?
$1.3 billion budget is the first time in this country. So we executed 800 plus last year, and now we jump by almost $400 million. We should observe some relief, out there. But we're not seeing that. And one of the issues I talk about here the other day when I was here is this whole economic concept called the Malthusian trap. And that trap basically says that when your population is growing faster than your economy, okay, which is our case, then you don't have enough resources to pass around and touch everybody. That is why we see more sellers in our markets than buyers. And the buyers, most of the time, don't have the purchasing power to buy so that the money can circulate. So we depend on the government then to make sure that they are paying for goods and services that businesses are providing the government on time. We haven't heard any noise about that. They are also paying civil servants on time. Since this administration has come to a place, that's the stability we are talking about. But it is sufficient to be able to touch the growing population that we have in the country. When you go to my part of the county, you can see the hardship in the face of the people, in the faces of the people. When you travel the country, you go to the urban center, you see life. But then you see young people who are formally unemployed. Most of them are informally employed in jobs that don't have security and so on and so forth. So it's something that I hope we can come together collectively as a government to begin to do some deep diving, some analysis on what we need to do. The two peak seasons in our economy are the 26th and, of course, the
Christmas season.
The Christmas season. that period should, should experience a lot of infusion of money into our economy. So we need to start looking at MFDP and CBL to see if the infusion rate commensurate with the demand during that time, so that we can begin to see some of the relief.
Well, one of the things people talk about is that money business had even goodwill. There were people who say Ellington, weird time, the way people used to give, it's not really that way.
Yeah, it's
How
true.
What can governments do? What can the Liberian government, this one, what can it do to make sure that money can reach people some kind of way?
The government, we're not running a socialist
I get that,
government.
but
And
there are things that can be done so
Right.
that money is not too far away.
Correct. So, the government is also constrained. It's constrained by laws, constrained by other things. We do the budget, we approve the budget. The budget is supposed to go into specific programs, and hopefully, when the money is spent on those programs, there will be some kind of effect in the economy, right? Some of the PSIP programs to create jobs, temporary jobs, even if it is temporary jobs for people. In addition to the $35+ million that the government pays monthly as compensation to civil servants, the contractors and other people who have these temporary jobs also added to that. You're talking about close to maybe between $45 to $50 million. That's a lot of money to go around. But what are they spending it on? We don't know that. Most of it is spent on household, maintenance, feeding, children's school fees, and so on and so forth. So there's not enough money left in people's pocket to give charity to relatives and other people. So now people say money business is hard. Now, I have heard that Taylor Town was better than certain time. I can't understand that because during Taylor time, I was not here, but I understand, I heard that Mr. Taylor used to pay twice in a year and so on and so forth. So I don't really know if this thing about this person time is better than this person time. But in the case of right after the war, there was a lot of international presence in the country. So there were people outside of the government that have money to spend on housing, to spend on supermarkets, to spend in entertainment centers, and so on and so forth. So those who have apartment buildings and other things to rent out to these expatriates made money. But when the UN left, that money, that income stream dried up. So if you have an empty house sitting there, you have asset, but it's not giving you liquid cash in the form of rent payment, then you too now trying to struggle to survive.
And then jobs too left.
And jobs are left as well. And we're not creating new jobs. That's one thing we cannot politicize. We can't argue about, we can politicize it. The opposition will say, well, the UP is not creating jobs. But the fact of the matter is we are struggling to create new jobs in the economy. And I think to answer your question, this is where the focus ought to be. How do we create jobs in this economy for young people?
His name is Amarakone Senator Bapolu County. Now, the biggest thing in town is the drug crisis, the cocaine issue.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and every day we're hearing different things are coming up. You took some stake from a whole lot of people when you were referencing the IG statement about higher ups. People say, well, a whole lot of higher ups, some dismissed, some indicted, and all of that. Who are the higher ups you're still thinking about?
Yeah.
What do you think is happening?
Julius, our system, our security system is not broken. It was built the way it's operating now. So therefore, it doesn't need fixing, but it needs serious overhauling. And to do that, we need to bite the bullet and do serious reforms. The same way we are investigating now is the same way we investigated the auditor's death, is the same way we investigated the child who died in the former Chief Justice's house, is the same way we investigated the EPS officer, my neighbor, who tragically died. So all the high-profile investigations, somehow we create so much doubt. And then once the first week passes, when the government does not move faster to get facts out there, the political parties start to accuse one another and then sort of undermine the investigation. At that point now, anybody who speaks now, you're either speaking for or against the party interests. That's unfortunate. But what we have on our hands is a crisis. You know, this crisis, the drug crisis, was a serious campaign issue and contributed to the CDC loss. You know, my UP friends need to remember that. We can make all the noise from now until 2029. If we don't solve this problem, this is going to be on the ballot. That's one. Two, the fact that right now we don't even talk about the 19 million drugs anymore at RIA. That one is something. They finish getting their people. You know, those who fled the country, what effort they are making to have them extradited, and so on and so forth. We don't know. People will say, well, you're in the government, you should know. No, I don't. If I knew, I wouldn't be asking or, you know, questions like I am. And I went to school and I learned by questioning. You know, you can't settle for what the professor gave you. You can't settle for what your government gives you. You have to be you got to be a curious citizen to get to the bottom of issues. And if you are in my seat as a representative of the people, more so the silent majority, those who run up to me in the street and say, thank you and your colleagues in the Senate for flagging this drug issue, otherwise it was going to die like the other cases. We hear that, and this is not political, I'm not trying to score political points. I mean, who will benefit, which party? I'm not in a party. But that's what ordinary people tell me when I go exercise, when I stop by the boys who are doing their artwork in my community, when I walk around and talk to neighbors, when I go to my county and other places, they thank us in the Senate for the hearing we did because it opened their eyes to the investigation and so on. And now the Senate can't take credit for all of it. The president is working. You know, he's not a novice at this. You know, so he's taking some actions. But the IG himself talked about high-level state actors in the current government and former officials. And the people that have been fired so far, some of them are senior officials. We welcome that. And we are just urging the president that if there are other senior officials that he has not, you know, touched yet, he should try to do that. I don't know who they are. People say, well, you need, you know, name them this. I don't know who they are. But I'm just acting on...
But do you have an inkling? Do you have this safe sense feeling that there could be other higher-ups?
Well, my brother Martin Cully posted that night. He thanked the president for his action, but he also informed all of us through his platform that he had provided some key intelligence to the Joint Security Task Force, and pretty soon there should be another major burst. As a member of the Senate Security Committee, that's the kind of information I'm getting, just like you are getting. So then I get anxious as a national leader. If this is happening, then, you know, should I remain quiet because I don't want people to insult me? Or should I raise the flag? And when you ask to see if we can be brief in our security chat room, there's no response, and they'll say, oh yeah, something will come soon, and then we'll just hear about things just like everybody else. So then I put my citizen cap on and say, we have to keep talking for the silent majority. I am a victim of this drug business. A member of my family whom I love dearly is still recovering from drugs. My relatives, friends, they too have their children affected. We saw the drug march, not protest here, that the mothers led wearing black that we all supported. All the politicians lined up behind that. And then we read the Al Jazeera report just a few days ago, citing the
talking about increase in importation
LGEA
of
report
kush,
that there's an 80% increase of kush importation into our country. So why should we keep quiet? Yes, it's okay for the partisans of the two major political parties say, oh, it happened during your time. No, you've been there for 2 years. How come you didn't do this? That's okay, but we have to rise above that and keep asking. And if there's something that they are still grappling with in the investigation that we don't know, hopefully our voices will help them to maybe take the right action to save the country.
Senator Koga, your colleague, was here on yesterday, and he's of the opinion that the president should either suspend or fire the heads of the different security entities connected to this, given that some of their undermen, who are not very far from the very top ops, have either been accused or they've been fired or they've been indicted. He thinks there has to be some kind of independent group of people to carry on this investigation. What do you say to that first?
Well, first of all, this is not Senator Koga's first time saying that. When the Senate, on the plenary, had a hearing with the Joint Security Task Force, he said that. He said that we should recommend to the president to, suspend the heads of the security agencies indefinitely. And then the president will get to hear the true versions from the honor men and so on and so forth. He said that, and if he repeated that yesterday, then of course he's repeating what he said in plenary. But Senator Koga is a security man. He worked in the sector for many years, so he understands the psychology, the mindset, and so on and so forth. I served on the Security Council at the cabinet level for 4 years. I know how things are discussed over there, and so on and so forth. But I am not in a position to sort of allege that someone or so, I don't know. And I don't want to get into speculation. What I would like to see as a senator of this country, of this great country, is that we will take this seriously. We will do less politics with it, because it presents a clear and present existential threat to our country. We don't want our country to be used as a transshipment point. That's one. Two, I also talk about the invisible hand and the moral hazard.
You wrote about that.
Economics in this. This was for educational purposes, for people to understand that in situations like this, first people act in self-interest. That's what Adam Smith was propagating to us when he developed the invisible hand concept. Everybody behaves in self-interest, but in a self-regulating market, which is the legal market, people compete in that self-interest, pursuit. But self-interest in illegal markets like this tend to have moral hazards. And the moral hazard is basically passing the consequences to somebody who is protected, who is absolved, by your position, by your uniform, by other things, proximity to the president, that in your mind, nobody will touch you. That is why they've been able, let's agree, they were here 2021. I'm not disputing that. But we've been in power now for 2.5 years.
And how the new people,
Correct. So let's
new officials,
correct. And this is where the moral hazard is, because the old moral hazard left power. They're not protected anymore. So they too now will introduce new people to their, you know, to the cartel in their self-interest now, and pass that to other people. Say, "No, this is happening, you can get a cut on this." So right there, if you have honest, moral, security people who should be protecting all of us, say, I got my target from day one. Then you disrupt it. Then you help the country. Then you honor the oath you took to save the country. But if you look away until you got caught, then I don't think anybody should be protected in that case. Because the drug business, Julius, is like waterbed. Maybe most Liberians don't know what waterbed is. Those of us who've lived in America and we had to struggle from the beginning, if you can't afford bed, you go to the store, you get something called waterbed. It's like, it's soft. It's like a gel in it. It's like water in it. When you go one side, the other side can pop up. You know, so it hurts your body. It hurt my body. I have one. So it's not stable like the regular bed. So when you disrupt here, like the way they disrupted Doison now, if based on what my brother Martin wrote and what other people are saying, that there could be more drugs in the country, they have actually moved now from that area to somewhere else in Monrovia. That's the waterbed analogy in this drug business. So we are saying that there may still be higher ups who are still sort of bearing the consequences because they've made commitment to the cartel. They've taken money from them, and now they have to deliver. So we are not in an investigation. We're not trying to jeopardize it. We are only saying, as a representative of the people, that should there be such people, please don't protect them.
Others are recommending for partners to take over the investigation, especially the Americans.
Well, not recommending, but I think I read a few posts from my friends in the UP that the Americans were here. I don't know that really, I have not been briefed on that. If they are here, that's good news. But I do know that our National Security Agency has been working with the Americans now for 2 decades on this drug issue. The drug issue is not new to Liberia. I think everybody knows that. During President Weah time, $100 million drug came in the country in container, frozen food container. Those who brought it were later acquitted, and the money that the government confiscated from them, $150,000, our court, Liberian court, ruled that the money should be returned. Those people got on the plane, they left this country. During the first UP administration under President Salif, the NSA contributed to the DEA, the US DEA, busting a major drug transaction here when the former director, Fumba Salif, was there. And for that, he was even featured in the Washington Post for, what the NSA did to help the US government arrest one of the major drug kingpin in Latin America. That person is currently in jail. He was arrested here and put on a plane straight to the US and, went through the court process there and they put him in jail. So if the US is here working with our people, that's good news. But
you should know if they are here. You should know.
No. I will not come on the radio and make stuff up. If I did, I will say, yes, I'm aware. But I don't. And I'm not curious to know. Because then, maybe they will say, well, he's a critical voice. You tell him, you will do this, you will do that. No, I know my boundaries. I've been on a security situation before. I know plenty of things about this country that I will keep to myself. But this drug issue, we can't keep quiet about it. I want to thank the president for the decision he's taking. I know President Boakai is wise. He may be slow, but he's wise. But I also know that right now He's getting all kinds of briefings.
That's the point.
He's getting the formal briefing through the right channel, through National Security Advisor Kofi Woods. He's also getting regular daily NSA briefing. He's getting briefing from Defense Intelligence. He's getting briefing from LNP Intelligence. That's why they brought the task force together so that everybody can work together and give the president one briefing. But guess what? The president also has a kitchen cabinet, people that you and I don't see. They see the president. They give
who
the
are very
president,
powerful forces.
Yes, they give the president their own briefings, but most of their briefings are based on sort of things the president may not hear through formal channels, the street talks, or the person Julius. They said Julius did this, or they said, all of that will come to the president. So he needs to be able to decipher everything, to be able to see which ones from the street through the kitchen cabinet he can take. So when criminals know that these type of groups exist around the president, they penetrate and build alliances on all sides so that they can speak good for them. I know that happens.
Before we take calls, former President Weah declared in the U.S. that he will be on the ballot in 2029. Were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. I think it was just a matter of time for him to announce that, and I'd like to say that it's welcoming. I think if he feels that he has work that he has unfinished work for the country, then he should make a case to the Liberian people. That's what democracy is all about. And, it will be left to President Barkai to make his own case. I think this is his election to lose. But whoever is going to win the next election will win it based on building additional alliances on top of whatever alliance you may have right now.
There's a possibility the former president or his party could come again.
Of course, there's a possibility.
Crawling to you.
To me?
Yeah.
How do we get there?
That's what I'm saying.
You always bring me on your show to expose me to.
You didn't know the question that was coming. You never got the ending, and you say yes. So there's a possibility they could come. Oh, Amara, we know 2023 runoff. We wanted you, we couldn't get to you, but we need you this time around. We need you on board. You are very important to this thing. That I believe it will happen.
Well, you're right. There's that possibility. I am a stakeholder in the political process. I'm a state actor. I think I can say on this radio without coming across as a braggart that I'm a very good political strategist. I know how to win elections. I always say that. They say if you don't tell your story, nobody will hear it. I have that record. But Julius, I am not in any conversation with anyone about 2029. I have told people as recently as Saturday when I met with some UP friends who were trying to sort of see if we could do meetings and so on and so forth. I said, yes, I'm open to dialogue with anybody. But I want to go through this year. I want to be able to sort of complete some of the things I've started in the county. I want to observe the political environment. I want to observe the dynamics and so on and so forth before I can sit down and begin to talk. Because one person, I don't walk with my legs spread. And that's my shortcoming in Liberia, where the Machiavellian politics of deception and pure lies and greed and all of that. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I just come from a place based on my upbringing with my parents. When I give you my word, I mean it. You deceive me, I believe in a higher God. I've done my duty, I move on without any anger, and life has been good for me in that sense. But I don't like to be involved in backbiting, machinations and so on and so forth. That is why, for those who know me and have worked with me in this political competition, I focus mainly on how to use data to guide the candidate to win.
Are you considering joining a political party? You cannot always be an independent.
All options are on the table. That option is on the table.
I've heard a whole lot about ALCOP.
Yeah, it's true. ACO, as you know, is a political party that really represent a lot of people, mainly people from my background. So people will assume naturally that that's the place I will go. The political leader of ACO is my maternal uncle. I have deep respect for him. He's a wonderful man, a father to many, a stabilizer in our community, somebody who is not interested in hurting people. He just wants to make sure that the community voice is heard politically, and I respect that. I think he's doing a good job. I think he wields a lot of respect, and I think it would be foolish for ACO not to continue with that, because what he brings to that position is far beyond just a political leader. I am a technocrat in many ways. My way of doing things, the way I am dedicated and gun-ho on efficiency and this and that, people, the culture here does not like people who push for more accountability, not just on money, but on getting things done. That's one of my problems in this environment. And so I would need some growing up to do in terms of age, because you get older, you get wiser, you become a father figure, and then you are able to see Julius and hold Julius for Julius, and then our sister here for who she is. But when you are someone who was educated and professionalized in an environment that is based on meritocracy, then at some point in Liberia, people will see you as arrogant. They will think that you don't see much in other people's work. And this is where the three lenses of organizational dynamics come to play: the political lens, the cultural lens, and the technical lens. So I think I am getting better at all three. But when I was here for the first time, I focused mainly on the technical, followed by the political. The culture of every week you get some family issue, you can't come to work, and so on and so forth. I wasn't used to that. But I realized that here it's a normal thing, and so you have to accept it. And it's hard for me because in Congo Town, where the overhead bridge is happening now, the Liberian workers there are more productive than the Liberian worker who is being supervised by the Liberian. They are being supervised by the Chinese. Mm-hmm. I wake up every morning around 5 to do my Fajr prayer. I swear to God, about 5:30, 6 o'clock, you hear the machine grinding the hole. The vibration comes into my house, and the people are working. Then when I'm going to the gym, I see my young Liberians who are fortunate to be working on that project. All there in full numbers, no absence. They are working, and we see how that project is going faster. Julius, if that project was funded by the government and undertaken by public works, you will see that we have not gone as far as that project has been. So what's going on here? Why is it that the Liberians who are supervised by the Chinese are more productive?
Even those who work at banks and with NGOs are more productive.
Correct.
Than in public sector.
I mean, I'm sorry out there I'm not looking down on my people, but we got to call a spade a spade. Until we can change that, to increase productivity. Some of the earlier questions you asked about the economy, things not going around, and so on and so forth, will continue to happen.
Let's take a few calls. We've exhausted almost the entire time. We use the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, man. Hey, you
Yeah,
can't. I can't leave Bummy and keep my
Yeah,
out.
and you already talk about that. And you talk about gathering data on prices
Oh,
and
yeah,
all of
that's
that.
true, but that was a small one.
Yeah.
But in any case,
so the next 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, just so that our people know, our chairman this morning had a very constructive meeting. Senator Alex Tyler had a constructive meeting with Minister Gafuan, Finance Minister, on our regional budget, our regional development plan financing. I think the legislature was able to the president approved our plan and committed to supporting it. We want to thank Minister Gafuan for his commitment to support us. I think he committed that we should be able to get some of the resources out to the university, the Western Region University in Topmanburg, to Emirates Hospital in Populu, and see if we can start to do some kind of a contracting around the hotel in Rubber Sports. So
I hope
we
I can
set
get
something
Senator
there.
Tyler soon. It's been, I don't know, forever.
I'll give you his number. Maybe he will agree to come, but he's not the kind of person who to talk
I
to
know
media.
that. I know we had the conversation in Nigeria and
Yeah.
he agreed. I think I still.
Yeah,
I think I should have it.
he did that today, and we are expected to meet somewhere between the 20th and the 25th in Rubber Sport with all of our superintendents and county health officers, the university president, to see how we can now begin to think about building bigger classrooms and dormitories for our respective counties in Topmanburg.
Okay, his name is Amara Connett. We'll try to reach out again to Senator Tyler. It's been forever. We've not been able to hear from him. We will see next week if we can. Yeah.
Give me something, man, so that I can talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm his
Talk
secretary.
to him for on Monday.
I'm the secretary for him. I do all your paperwork, so so man, you gotta come see me, man.
Yeah, sure. That one we do. We gotta bring him in here. We start from overseas. Welcome. Let's hear you. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Julius. Frank Gibson. Nosani Kama is a very good man, but when I graduated in 1998, Nosani Kama promised me $10 to go to my UA entrance. Today I spent 4 hours, 30 minutes in Nosani Kama office right at Cherry Street where he had a insurance office. That man took the back row and he left me sitting there.
Oh.
That one Nosani Kama did to me. Now, I've got 2 quick questions.
The Frank Gibson.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right.
He said you're telling me so the man can send the $10 to you in France.
You almost became a brother-in-law, Nosani Kama, but that is not too important now. Honorable Connett, on the Aroa rule, the object you are talking about, it is from the CDC down to the 2 years of Unity Party, or it is because I believe what Jenny said, he was going to audit the company before continuing the job. When he continued the same company for over 2 years, now he's going back to audit. Was that a very good decision? Lastly, Honorable Connor, before I drop the line, you work in a civilized society. If the inner cycle is damaged, the leader take responsibility.
The what?
I think right now,
the inner cycle is.
needs to resign.
You can use your.
Government Kuma needs to be resigned because his inner circles are defected. Those guys are included in the drug issue.
Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold you there. Let's take a few others. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Julius, how are you?
I'm fine.
And I want the parties to be very calm and so very relaxed, like Big Brother in there.
What is your name?
I sat in the car for an hour 30 minutes listening to him, and this may be biased, but it is true. He's not somebody who can lie, Julius. And some of my friends know, even during the election, when we had conversation, and I told them, if this man said this is this, don't argue, it is true. And he said he is a strategy, and I know that. I believe it, and I just hope that this time around, both of us
will be on the same side.
on the scene side, and I mean visible on the scene side. Not playing the back,
Musa
the back
Oh,
door
my
politics.
brother Musa.
But he's a very
But
good
then
person.
you gotta start going to the man hall. You start washing the men
my
dishes.
brother, he comes there.
Yeah, no, I mean, like he got to do more
He's
to
my big
convince
brother.
you.
We got relationship.
we don't talk
we got
about-
relationship
we
beyond
don't
that,
talk
but
about
I just
this.
wanted to say he is a very honest person, and Judah, this is without bias. He's a very honest person, and I respect him a lot. You see the radio, how the radio look calm. You can come to the radio to make point without being loud, say without being using effective. And this is the kind of people that we really need to
Okay.
look for. So people,
Thanks so
again, I
kindly.
just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
You're trying to massage the man with all the.
He's trying to recruit me.
Yeah, with all the sweet talk. See you. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello.
Hello, Julia.
Yeah, quickly. We don't have enough time.
So this is Mr. Riede. I'm Jeremiah Willen.
Okay.
Commonly known as Riede. And as my brother is still the Honorable Connor, he said two things. He tried to play with some words there. He said the first thing he said, there's a kindness in the economy and prices, everything are good. But then in that again, he said if you go to the rural area and the Western Belt, every day prices changing. I don't know what he's referring to as price situation, whether in Morovia, he's concerned about Morovia or something. Again, he said, you asked him whether they were trying to face it together. He said, no, we overhauled it. And overhauled it means facing. I thought one person, let's say Honorable Connor would have said, that I said the last time was to put money into the security. We need no fixing.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Put money in the security.
Me again.
Welcome. And let's hear you quickly.
Thank you, Julius. Thank you for the great opportunity. And this is B.G. playing Yeshua, Julius. And let me say good evening to the Senator of Baporu, Senator Connor. How are you?
30 seconds.
Thank you. And let me appreciate him, the manner and form in which he can sit behind the microphone. You know, he encourage you to always listen to him when you take the mark on the radio station of like, okay. Now, the point is, Julius, until we can draft our country agenda and go along with the agenda, be it one party comes to power or be who leader comes to power, our country will be where it is, Julius. Let us find time, Mr. Conan or Senator Conan, drive this nation agenda. That when you come to power as a party, you will follow the country agenda. That's number one. Number two, Julius, the issue of Liberians, you know, like he said, I listen to him keenly, that you see the oil bridge work is going, our Liberian brothers want to work on time. You know, it is because of the party mandate. So if you see people working at that in Liberia, in the ministries and agencies, they feel very well that I'm from the CDC, so my coming to work is lies in the hands of the party chairman or in the hands of the UP chairman. That's the kind of notion we need to erase in this country of the issue of party mandate.
Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold you there. This will be the last one from overseas, and we'll give the last 2 minutes to him. Welcome.
Yeah, Julius, good afternoon from Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
This is Leo Pilswell. Yo, I think the Senator Amara, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the way he speaks, but I got a little observation about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice guy. I think he speaks well. I think he means well for Liberia. But my observation is that from the day he and the guys he helped brought the power, right? They go into some misargument or misunderstanding rather. I think he's not speaking in mind. You can tell that I might really want to talk, but he's afraid of backlashes and whatsoever. And no, the only way like we're going to go forward, look, we need to forget about how people feel and think about us.
You think he needs to come out swinging?
Yeah, see, he's not speaking like with him. He want to talk. He's not talking.
He won't talk, but then he can talk. That's what you mean?
Yeah, like, the point was, I will lash at him. Forget about what people think about you. That's what look, we should think about our unborn generation. How will we suffer in our age? Our parents suffer, then our children will suffer again.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Me squeeze this one in. I'm really running with time. 30 seconds.
So, Julius, thank you. My name is Raf Sakari, and I'm humbled to be on your show to speak to my former boss, man who have shifted my career, a man who took me as a research officer to what I'm in today as a professional president. I want to say, Mr. Kone, thank you for everything you've done, and keep your heads up. This is Liberia. Let's help to make it better. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks so kindly, Ralph, for the call. Yeah. 1 minute, sir.
Ralph, thank you so much for that. You've grown up to be a good man.
The man is everything. He businessman, he professional, he husband,
a father, a businessman.
They make a move.
I admire you. From where we met at the Ministry of Planning, you've come a long way, and keep it up. Look, I want to close by saying that to my brother in Minneapolis, maybe you don't know me, but you read me from on the screen and something. But I want you to follow me since I entered the Senate. I speak my mind. I am a very independent person. I'm not afraid to speak up. So I'm not holding anything that you may be suspecting that I'm holding. But this is my nature. I'm not a violent person. I'm not the aggressive person. And I like to be this way. But you can't cross me. That's one thing everybody knows. So when things happen, I will speak to them. But I want to close by saying that with all of the issues, people talk about the economy. I spoke from the macro perspective. The bigger economy is stable, and I was very specific about budget performance, about the exchange rate, about the something, and so on and so forth. But if we need to change, back to your question, how can we change this complaint that money is not circulating and so on and so forth? About 80% of our economy is operated by informal businesses. So if we must change that, we need to enforce the Liberalization Act, the Small Business Act. We need to be deliberate to make sure that this 25% of the budget go to these people, and we need to beef up that act to protect the informal sector and make them part of the informal economy, and create a good fund with all of the exposure to corruption, and take the deliberate steps to pump money into this informal sector. I think that will help to solve the problem.
Senator Amarakone, thanks so kindly. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up is the news. Tomorrow we'll be here.